Hi, I'm Donna Williams, Chairwoman of the Wake County Republican Party, and with me today is Ashley Seshul, who is our endorsed candidate for the NC House District 34. Ashley, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you, Donna.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So this is for our listeners just to get to know you a little bit better, okay? And I'm just going to ask you a couple questions, and I'm going to start with just tell us who you are. Ashley, not the candidate yet, but Ashley, who are you?
Ashley. I am a lifetime North Carolinian. I grew up on the western side of the state in a small town in Burke County, Valdez, North Carolina.
Okay.
After graduating from high school, I went to NC State for undergrad and Appalachian State University for graduate school and majored in speech-language pathology.
Cool. So tell us a little bit then after school as far as your job employment history.
Sure. Well, back in high school, I started working back then, waiting tables at the Holiday Inn, worked at the bakery, in the factory. And then when I got my speech-language pathology degree, I worked with home health, hospitals, early intervention, nursing homes, with birth to all the way end of life, from stroke to swallowing, speech-language issues. So
you could tell us a lot of stories, I bet, right?
A lot of stories. Very diverse degree.
Excellent. Well, that's great. And, you know, that sort of paves the way for jumping into politics, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So tell us really what brought you into politics.
Well, being a speech-language pathologist, being a career politician was never anything that I wanted to do. I didn't want to get into politics. But sometimes instances in your life change you, and that really happened back in May of 2020. My family and I, we lived downtown during the riots, and we lived right across the street from the courthouse. We witnessed everything. And in addition to that, I've got a high school daughter, worked hard all the way. Now we're out of school for a year. We're starting to see some academic struggles, behavioral, being stuck at home, and just a lot of things accumulated, and I realized there was something that had to be done. So it's really my first adventure into politics.
Well, I first want to say thank you for jumping in, because we need good people, period, So you're running for the NC House, and when you're elected, I don't like to ever say if, when you're elected, what are some of your priorities that you want to work on?
Really, my top priorities, and I talk about this a lot, would be safety and security, obviously, education, and the economy. And when we're talking about education, we had an educational decline before the pandemic, and now it's been exacerbated. We have mental health issues in our adolescents and children that is exacerbated. And as a speech-language pathologist, that's quadrupled over the past 2 years. We also have to address the fact that only 1/3 of our students go to college. And so we've got 2/3 that we need to get back to vocation, workforce, get these children, students successful in life, so they'll be able to be productive members of society. And also, as far as education, we've got to look at opportunity scholarships, school choice. Parents need to have the decision making of what is best for their children. As far as security, it speaks for itself. It's okay to have peaceful protests, but we need it. When I knock on doors, one of the biggest concerns is safety and crime, because it's creeping up here in Wake County. And then lastly, the economy. All we have to do is talk about gas and groceries, right?
You got it.
And at the federal level, they know nothing but spend. The local level thinks it's a great idea to raise our taxes, and we have to continue the policies of the state to protect us and be that stopgap, because they've kept our taxes low, regulations low. We're now #1 in the nation for business, and we have to keep that going.
Absolutely. That is a big part of our future, is keeping that, but making all these other changes that you're talking about. So I am going to do an ask for our listeners. and that is for you to share this video. So you either received this from an email or you saw it on Facebook or any other social media. My ask is that you, once you finish listening, share this. And you don't have to stick to Wake County. You don't have to stick to District 34, because Ashley and our other candidates that are running for the General Assembly, when they're elected, they will end up serving the state. And their work helps every single person who lives in North Carolina. So I really do ask you to share it with others across this state. Please do that through your social media or your email list or whatever. And in the description below, you will find all of Ashley's contact information, her website, her social media, all of that is there, and also the information for the Wake County Republican Party. And so I'll stop for a quick second. How can people help you with your campaign?
Thank you for asking. You know, you really have an appreciation when people stand up and say, we need volunteers. And we need volunteers in many ways. It can be your time, your treasure, your talent. It costs money for yard signs. It costs money for mailers. It costs money for postage. But also, too, we need volunteers.
Absolutely.
We need volunteers at early voting, 17 days of early voting, but who's counting? We need volunteers. We need volunteers the day of. We need volunteers with yard signs. Anything you can do, we will be more than happy to have you come on and make a change for Wake County.
Absolutely. And I will say, wherever you live in Wake County, you can volunteer and help either individual candidates or come and help with the Wake County Republican Party, because we have 49 candidates in this county that we have endorsed, and that means we are working to help these 49 folks get elected. So with that, Ashley, thank you. Thank you for
so
running.
much.
You're welcome. And thanks for coming in today. And to everybody who's been listening, I thank you for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.